Meat market. Chemtrails. Anxiety. Canary.
You're Dan Cummins.
I am.
I'm Joe Paisley.
Yes.
And this is As We Dumb.
Good, it is.
Episode 29. We're so close to 30.
We are.
We're one football field short.
I have a good feeling about today's show. I think it's going to be a strong show.
I want to talk about your toe.
Yeah, because I'm feeling really good today.
Right.
This has been a long time coming. People who've listened to my stand-up albums, the last one, I had this whole bit about this toenail situation, this fungal problem, and then it got worse. I ignored it for a couple years, and then
As one does.
and then random huckleberry picking last summer, something shifted, and I just hurt the toenail, and so then it looked like it was going to fall off, blood. It was bad, and it has ached when I wear shoes every day since then. So like over 8 months.
That's fucking annoying.
Super annoying. I finally caved in. I thought this stupid procedure where you can, to fix your toenail, there's not a lot they can do.
Yeah.
And there's two things. A pill you have to take for a long time that can hurt your kidneys, or you put this special magic toenail polish on it. That's this medication. You have to do it for a whole year, and it has a 10% chance of working.
And
it's actually worked. I thought my doctor thought I was working last check, and it's just annoying where it's it messes up your toenail and it makes it thicker than it's supposed to be, and then you put your socks on and it pushes your jacked up toenail into the soft, tender skin underneath your toenail, and it hurts so fucking bad. It's this annoying thing. Not the end of the world, but you're constantly in almost every pair of shoes being ouchie, ow, ouchie.
Oops.
And so working on it, and then just this morning clipped the part. I think it's good. And this is the first day I've put on sneakers and be oh, that's how it's supposed to feel.
wow.
I feel
Congratulations.
I have a new lease on life.
Yeah.
It feels fantastic. Restart.
Things are going to be better this time.
I feel there's some parable or something about the lion that gets the little thorn taken out of his paw by some other critter. And then he's so happy.
Thank you. Thanks, little bunny.
I feel like that today.
Buckus, bunny, and lions hang out together.
Right,
I'm a
right.
dipshit.
Whoever I can't remember who took that thorn out. Somebody took a thorn out of a lion's paw.
Yeah.
There's a mouse.
There's a mouse.
Oh, okay.
Well,
those make sense. Those are together.
He had a mouse and I had a toenail lacquer polish situation.
I pictured you having to buy that super top secret fungal nail thing in an alley. You're hey, come here, little boy. Magical nail polish.
It is weird on some medical things where it's obviously the emphasis, the focus is on where it should be. On cancer, on the important things. These diseases that can kill you. And then I've had several little things over the years where you ask the doctor so what do I do about this? And they're not much. There really isn't really good treatment. And I'm what do you mean?
Get out of my office. That's what you could do about this.
What is this, 1870? Come on, give me a pill.
Do something.
Fix it.
You just gave steroids to your toenails.
Right.
3 inches thick now.
Right. Jacked up toenails are not a big priority for the medical community. Which, fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, okay, Dan. We know. Here, get the guy that's missing his arm over here and just push you out the door. Yeah, got more important shit to
exactly.
do.
Oh, you have an ugly toenail. Get out of here.
Get out of here. It's dumb. Call me. I'll talk to you on the phone, you fucking pussy.
Basically.
All right. Well, make sure to follow us and Dan's Toe on our socials.
Yes.
Facebook, Instagram, @IsWeDumb. Got that private Facebook group, Is We Dummies, which is well over 4,000 members right now, and it is fun
Awesome.
in there. Segment content, you can email that our way at dumb@iswedumb.com. Would you rather ideas, dumb idiots, 1-star heroes, you get it. Everything else, info@iswedumb.com. We'll post the links in the episode that we feel like you need to see, whether it's videos or just articles or pictures that we're hey, this would be a lot better and funnier in your brain if you go check it out. So we make sure to give you that option. Got the merch, badmagicmerch.com, or you can go to iswedumb.com. And for any merch-related questions, you can email store@badmagicproductions.com. Mm-hmm. And my God, big thank you to the roughly 250 people that have emailed Logan and instructing him to suck your dick.
Nice.
He's got a little tally thing on the wall.
Does he actually?
No, but I wish he did.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did. I
Suck my dick tally.
I have heard you guys talking about the emails coming in. It seems to be a pretty steady clip.
And then he says people are sometimes sending it to the wrong email address, which goes to his mother-in-law.
Right.
And then he's hey, I got one for you. Send it over. Hey, Logan, suck my dick.
Right. But Teresa has all these years of customer service experience, so we have her heading our customer service responses for all the Bad Magic shows.
I wonder if she's ever had a customer service job quite like this.
I doubt it. I doubt it. Highly doubt it.
From every angle, every show.
We're friendly customers who enjoy the product. Or like, hey, suck my dick.
Right.
Just out the gate.
This is the best thing I've ever been a part of. Suck my dick. Oh, soft shame cock. Like flat, like weirdest stuff. Like, I don't, okay.
Okay.
Dum-dum Idiots Listener Edition. Got another one of those today, which I'm very excited about. And we have to warm up our little brains.
Good, good. We gotta get warmed up. I'm very excited about the one-star heroes today, too.
Me too.
Really, like, I'm always excited, but maybe the most excited about this one.
Just extra petty hate
so
today.
Petty. It's a place I have a special, a relationship with. And just, it's a whole thing.
Okay. I look forward to that.
So much entitlement.
Let's get the brain warmed up. Zach, roll it! The very super most important starting question. Sent our way by dummy Crystal. Would you rather kill your best friend, and remember, your wife is possibly your best friend, and get away with it, or break into a sperm bank and drink everything?
Thank you, Crystal.
Jesus.
I can't kill my wife. I do love her.
Okay. Well, I guess you can just drink a whole sperm bank of cum.
This is a tough one where... Yeah, I have to drink a whole. I don't like. No part of me that doesn't sound enjoyable at all. A whole. That's so much.
Right. Okay. Well, if there's a sperm bank in like Riggins, Idaho, there's like 2 cups, and then nobody wants them.
Nasty sperm.
Oh, it's been there for like 3 years.
Right. That is some fucking hillbilly. Just.
Daryl's here. I'm here, guys. Just one guy and one hustler from 1986.
What if it is a lot of sperm, but it's all the same dudes? Got more.
Woo!
This is your 3rd time today, Daryl.
It's my only job. That's how someone's gonna buy it. Someone's gonna buy it. But if it's like the Los Angeles sperm bank, I don't know. It's probably too much.
Man,
you'd be so even if you didn't kill your wife. Like, let's say you decide not to, you'd be sitting in there and you'd have so much just every gulp being like, should have fucking killed her.
Well, that's true.
Just like burping.
Oh yeah. Towards the end, it's like I could have just killed her. Yeah, just so much. Flashing in my brain, I just keep picturing the Nathan's hot dog eating contest, where it's like you just got to approach it like that. You just got to you fucking psych yourself up.
You get Guinness World Records there.
You have a whole system you've worked out, like lots of water to drink afterwards. You get your bib.
You got a headband.
You have a headband. You have fucking crowd. You just bring it for people to cheer. Come on, you got it. And then you're crying. I can't. No,
yes, you can.
You can do it. You got to kill her if you can.
I didn't even train for this. I mean, why did you train? You're gonna train. I'd help you train.
Oh, maybe what you train with oyster shooters or something.
Okay,
right.
That's fine. I don't like. I mean, that visual's totally fine in my brain.
All those oyster shooters. Because it's like
salty.
Mucusy, salty.
All right. Anyway, so what if it's not your wife?
Oh, then that's different. I kill him.
For sure. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like anybody else.
Anybody. Well, okay. Anybody other than my wife, my kids, my dogs, and then a couple of my family members.
You're telling me you would drink an entire sperm bank of cum instead of kill your dog?
Man.
That's what you're telling me right now?
Yeah, because then my wife would leave me anyway. If I kill the dog.
But at least you're not.
She's gone.
Full of cum. To the brim.
I would fucking hate that dog after that. I would drink all the cum.
Your whole family.
I would.
You would either kill somebody in your family,
right?
Your best friend, or you drink the cum and then come home and be so pissed off you didn't kill him, you'd leave him.
Just be broken.
There's no win.
The kid's friends are like, "Why is your dad just sitting down quiet in the basement? Because all that cum he drank."
He's full. He hasn't been to supper.
He hasn't been
2
himself.
months.
He hasn't been himself since he drank 47 gallons of cum.
He hasn't been himself since he's drinking 47 gallons of other people. He's a split personality thing down there. It's a whole issue. There's got to be a scientific study you could do with that.
You just say weird shit. You're just the guy that's you're so broken, you're just always tense, just quiet in the basements, and then every once in a while you just snap and people just say weird things. You're like, what? I mean, God, why are you so? You try it. You drink it. You drink it.
Should have killed her. Should have fucking
killed her. Just every once in a while.
Just sloppy.
The middle of the night.
Wearing the same clothes.
I just picture same clothes, sloppy. It's 3 a.m. You don't even go to your bed. You're always in this chair in the basement. And then his family just woke up. Should have fucking killed her. And then they just go back to bed. That's my dad.
Good morning, Dad. Fuck you. Right. He's just mad he drank all that cum. He wishes he would have killed me, but he didn't. Anyway, that's why I love him.
You just watch bukkake films, but you don't even. It's not even sexual. You're just they get it.
These are the only people that can relate on any level.
You just join into like chat rooms and trying to find people who have been in lots of Bukkake films, and it's like so you can
Bukkake
bond.
Anonymous. I mean, you're in the right setting. A whole group of people sitting around talking about coming on something. I mean, that is a bukkake. Like, if one person at the meeting gets in the middle and kneels down, you're at home. Like, you know exactly what to do.
You probably would just to like make the experience somehow like, I don't know, make your peace with it. Yeah. I can just see that it breaks you, and then you become a bukkake star because you've already had so much.
Right.
Like, what's 200 more? What's 1,000 more?
What's it matter at this
Just
point?
let it rain. You don't even care.
You'd come out a totally different person.
It would change you. It would change you. Mm-hmm. You're not the same after that.
You wouldn't be able to drink anything ever again.
Right. Certain textures.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Want some of that yogurt? Nope.
All good.
All good.
All good. Got my filling back in 96.
Some tasty tapioca pudding for you, sir.
All good. All good.
Thank you. Just water. Water and anything that's not anything like cum. Excuse me? Yeah, I don't know. Bread. Strictly bread and water.
You just in restaurants. What do you have to drink here that's not cum? What? Yeah. Everything.
Everything is
thank God. Oh,
Jesus.
Good.
I was just down the street at the sperm bank. That's all they had. Let me tell you. It was a lot.
So yeah, but still, despite all that, I have to do it.
I know I'm not a killer. I wish I was a killer. I mean, like, I'd have to like kill my brother. That's like who I would consider my best friend.
Yeah.
I have to kill him. I guess gotta drink a bunch of cum. This sucks.
You don't seem that much.
I know, but I love him.
That's fair.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll see you at the sperm bank.
Perfect.
We'll high five. We'll go in with a like I don't know, like the big gulp kind of straw cups, because you don't want to waste time like
just drinking, crying, and high fiving, and throwing
best.
up.
We made a promise to our listeners.
Right.
We didn't kill anybody. We got to do this. Or else they're not going to take us seriously anymore. Well, thanks, Crystal. That was terrible.
Yeah, thanks, Crystal.
I want to hear about you being dumb.
Okay, I got a dumb story for you.
All right, let's go. Oh man, that whole texture talk.
We are really going to switch gears now.
I didn't like that texture talk. Good, I'm excited. Let's get out of there.
Hard pivot
out of the walls of the sperm bank.
Out of drinking all the sperm to playing chess with my son.
Woo!
Hard pivot.
They're both terrible.
My dumb thing that I did
I would still drink all the cum and play chess with your kid.
My recent dumb thing is my son Kyler has gotten really into chess, which is awesome.
Right.
It's a great game, great for your mind. And at that age, he's 15, when you really get into something.
Yeah.
Like you really get into it because you have the time to really get into a hobby that you wouldn't necessarily have later in life.
Right. Yeah.
So he's not just playing a few games here and there. He's like playing in this app. He's playing online with his cousin all the time. We got him a chess set for Christmas. He's getting books on strategy.
It's like the nicest chess set I've ever seen in my life, by the way.
It's a nice chess set. Like this wouldn't be, he is into chess. And so of course he wants to play with other members of the family, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. But
for him,
because
he's going to win.
He's going to destroy you. And it's that thing where it's like he wants you to play, and then it's not that I'm so competitive, but it's not fun to play any game where you're just like you're at the beginner level and the other person's at this expert level.
Right.
It's like what, a video game, sports.
Sure. LeBron James playing like the best third grader.
Right,
to come out of like Fernan Elementary down the road here.
Exactly. It's like
okay.
and going as hard as they can. Not fun. So I played one, and sometimes I'm just tired. It's like you're working a long day, and your brain is like, honestly, the last thing I want to do is be thinking about, like jump into something else that I have to really think about.
Yeah, firing up a strategy game.
Right.
Yeah.
So I played with him once, and I was lucky enough to get like a draw, and then he's like, oh, okay, but then he practices that much more and goes that much harder. And then I committed to like, okay, on Sunday I'll play. And then Sunday rolls around and I don't really want to play. But I feel like I just addicted back at it. Made the promise. So we're playing the game and it's going pretty well, but I'm just tired. And and it's one of those games too that it's like, it's not, you have to think really hard and it lasts a long time because every move has consequences. And about 20 minutes in, I'm just kind of like, I don't even want to be doing this. But I still wanted to try, and then I just made a stupid move, and he killed my queen, and I just taught him the worst sportsmanship. Like I got so mad that like early in the game, like he killed my queen, so I knew we had probably 30 minutes left a game, and it was just going to be a slow death for me no matter what I did. Mm-hmm. And so immediately I go, I don't want to play anymore. And I just folded my arms and sat back. And he was surprised. It's like I'm his dad, and it's like he's playing with a bratty 6-year-old. I was like, I don't want to play anymore.
You bitch.
Mm-hmm, exactly. It was the verbal equivalent of just slapping all the pieces and storming off.
Dumb.
Stupid game. I don't even like it. And so then he's just kind of shocked and he's like, what? And then I immediately feel bad. And I'm like, I shouldn't have said that. Yeah. And I tried to fake it, but he knew I didn't want to play. So then it's just sad for both of us now. At the end of the game. And then afterwards, I totally apologized. I'm like, that's a terrible example. Right. I'm like, I would hate that if somebody else did that. I'm like, don't do that. Don't be me, basically.
He's playing on his end of the board just on pins and needles.
Right.
Like he's moving something and looking up at you and you're going, stupid. And he slides it back into place like, God damn it. Like, how do I get the most out of this? He's going to quit.
Right.
I got to play. And he's like putting shit right in reach of you. And you're like, you take it out.
Right.
Like, fine.
And also how terrible, where it's like, he mostly, I mean, yes, he wants to play chess, but also like quality time with his dad. Mm-hmm. And instead of just enjoying this nice family bonding moment, I'm like, well, I can't win. I don't like it.
Yeah.
With my fucking son. Just the more I think about it, the more mad I get at myself. I was such a brat.
That's pretty shitty.
Mm-hmm. So I apologize to him.
On a different level, I do that with video games, particularly the Call of Duty, where like I don't want to show my kids that it's okay to like just get mad about a goddamn game.
Right.
And then I'll sit down and be like, you fucking stupid game! Piece of shit! Right. Why didn't you even sit down and play it?
Right.
They're like, Daddy, like it's just for fun, right? Fuck you! I mean, I haven't actually done this. Don't think I've done it. But
yeah.
They have heard me screaming like they're in like another room.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, stupid, uninstall. I'm like just quitting. Like it's just poor form.
It is
on a dad part.
Yeah. I've made that weird transition just to like be at peace with like, you know, these new games, just so I'm not like that angry guy all the time with new games, because I know they're going to get into more and more new things. They're going to spend a lot of time. I'm not going to be as good. Now I've turned that weird corner with like video games where it's like I just don't even care that I suck. Because I was so competitive for so long when I was younger, and that was like my association with games is trying to be like, you know, as good as possible. Yeah. And now I'm just like, whatever. Like we play Fortnite together, and I'm just like, I'm a noob. I'm a stupid noob, and you tell me what to do, and I'll just try not to die and embarrass you.
I'm gonna go hit this tree with the axe.
Right.
Let me know if you need my wood.
Right.
See ya. Let me know when we're building the cabin. Bye, guys.
And I will say, since I started doing that on that game, at least, I've had way more fun.
Yeah, that's true.
But I went through a tough transition where it's like I went through, you know, with Kyler, and you'll see this as your kids get older, I went from like I could beat them at anything. And then I would let them win, but I knew I could always win if I wanted to. And then just a couple years ago with Kyler, it turned that corner of like, oh shit, I can try as hard as I can. I can't beat him at this.
Game on,
right?
buddy.
And it totally. And then now with Monroe with Fortnite, that's the first game ever with her where I'm like, I can't beat her.
I just can't compete.
So I can either be mad about it, or I can just be like, Mom, I'm just dumb dad. Just have fun. Along for a ride. I'm along for a ride.
Thanks for taking me, guys.
Thanks for taking me on a ride I'm along for.
Happy to be here.
Happy to be here. God, my toe doesn't hurt too bad. I'm a piece of shit, but I love you. Just giving up.
I do love that, though. I can picture that chess situation like, perfectly. Stupid game.
I don't like it.
Just applying that to other board games like Monopoly.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
And I've gotten mad at them so many times for that exact same attitude.
Right. Just
over
giving
and
up.
over and over.
Yep. Chips are down. They just bounce.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Feels good. Get off my chest.
Feels good to get that out. And some dummies of ours, it felt good for them to share some stories with us.
I want to hear them.
Let some things out. So we have the Dum-dum Idiots Listener Edition.
Sweet.
Fuck yeah.
Dum. Idiot.
This first story is coming in from Dummy Jordan.
Okay.
Who writes, "What's up, Dan and Joe? Hey, what's up?
Hi. Hey, what's up?
How you doing, Jordan? My name is Jordan, and here's my dumb story. Rewind to 2005. 3 friends and myself, young and dumb, 18 to 19 years old, our invincible years. Myself, the only one with transportation, and my do-or-die crew would spend our late nights driving down country 2-lane roads and toss things out the window at passing cars."
Jesus.
First of all, fucking, come on. Wait till you hear what these fuckers threw at people.
Okay.
At first, we were cautious, throwing small things like change or whatever, which we eventually started calling penny raids. This went on for months, slowly escalating ourselves using bigger and bigger things till one day my friend brought a basketball. Needless to say, we were little shits. That's okay.
Yeah.
You just don't realize how dangerous that is when you're a little kid.
Exactly.
It's just like, oh, he's small. This must be like a penny going 80 miles an hour.
It's just fun to get a reaction out of people. And you know, and it's fun to do something that you're not supposed to do. I get it.
So sometimes people would catch on, slam on their brakes, and turn around to try and chase us. Me thinking, oh, how clever am I, would swing my car around with the e-brake once we were just out of sight and double back, sometimes hitting the car again, lead-footing it out of there.
Oh, my God.
One night, a friend who had heard about our adventures but never joined finally came along one night. 5 teenage boys with 24 eggs ready to ruin people's nights. Jesus. The entire night went off without issues, with only a few eggs left and our new friend wanted to try. So now before we go any further, they want to establish some rules. So rule number 1, never stick your arms out. Just a small underhand toss out the window. Number 2, wait to make sure it's just one car coming. And number 3, check for lights on top for cop cars. You know that rule's in there for a reason. We quickly told him the rules, handed him an egg, and as I was driving down a hill, perfect opportunity had arrived. We told him to get ready as the car approached. I looked in my side mirrors, and this jackass has his entire torso out my back window, and just as I looked forward again, I screamed, "No!" This motherfucker cocked back and chucked the egg right into the windshield of a passing cop car.
Oh, my God.
Needless to say, he whipped it around, had his lights on before he even made it down the hill. All my friends were like, "Run!" And I just immediately pull over to accept my fate. We had just assaulted an officer, and I wasn't about to add evading arrest to that list.
Jeez.
So we were arrested, taken in, processed.
Holy shit.
We were all separated and given the orange suits and a mattress. The cell I was put in was full, so I had to lay on the floor. Eventually, my parents came to bail me out, and I passed a cell where one of my buddies was in. He's just laying on the bunk with a blank stare. The judge ended up making our charges a misdemeanor of destruction of personal property, a sentence that can easily be handled with a mediator. So needless to say, I learned my lesson, but here's the best part, and this is good. Around 2 years later, I found myself working third at a local BP gas station, just as we were going to close for a few hours for cleaning and stocking. A man walks up to me with a gun and points it at my head and says, "You know what to do."
Didn't expect that.
And of course, I pulled out the till and gave it to him. And as he left, I jumped in the buddy's car. The timer for the lights goes off outside, and then I call the cops. Or it says, and he left. He jumped in a buddy's car.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Sorry, I misread that. Yeah. So the first officer shows up and cracks the door to ask which direction they went. In a bit of a shock, I told him, and he took off. More officers began to arrive, and then one I recognized, and that was the cop that we egged. As soon as we made eye contact with me, he began to grin. Well.
Funny, he remembered.
Why did he rob you? You throw an egg at him? I just died laughing, and so did he. So that's my Is We Dumb story. Hope you got some laughs looking back. I'm so happy we didn't hurt anyone being the little dicks we were, but we could have really caused someone harm or maybe even killed somebody. Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I look at that arrest as deserving, so I harbor no ill feeling to my local police like some people might. Keep on being dumb. I love your podcast as well as Scared to Death and Time Suck. Dum-dum Creeper Jordan.
Thank you, Jordan.
Jeez.
God, that story, and I don't think I've told this on Is We Dumb before, maybe not on any of the podcasts, but I had a friend in Las Vegas. We would do stupid harassment things when I was down like my freshman, sophomore year of high school down there. And after I left, the last time I talked to him, he just kept doing crazier and crazier things. And this is somebody that, like, even before I knew him, he already had weird stuff on his rap sheet.
Okay.
Like, some lady was at the pool out in front of his, like, condo where his, him and his mom lived. And he just, like, I just shot her with a pellet gun. Just thought I could get away with that. The police just show up. It was like, there's assault.
That's fine.
Mm-hmm. She was, like, bending over to grab something on the pool, and he just shot her in the ass with a pellet gun. And then she called the cops, and, he got arrested. But there's, like, a lot of just stupid shit like that. And then he started egging people, is what made me think of the story. Same thing. It started off like from the car. They would throw eggs, but they would throw it at people on the sidewalk.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm. Like somebody just, walking down the sidewalk and, gets blasted with an egg. And then at first it was when they would drive by, and it kept escalating. And then he said that then they would stop at a stoplight, and right as it turned green, blast somebody with an egg.
Yeah.
Then the craziest thing, and I totally believe he was the kid who would do this, they would pull up to a stoplight. He would run out of the car, run around up behind somebody. Like he said, the example was some dude was just waiting for the bus, sitting on the little bus bench.
Okay.
Spikes the egg on his head, then jumps back in the car and they drive off. And I just think, like, how fucking ridiculous. Like, you're just reading your book, minding your own business.
Biggest interview of my life. And he's checking his hair,
right.
Fixing his beard.
Exactly. If this job goes well, I won't have to take the bus anymore. I'll have a car.
Changer.
Everything's turning around. And then just some fucking 16-year-old dickhead, bah!
Suck it,
motherfucker! Just blast you in the head with an egg. And like, why would you do? And then they're just in a car. and they've just taken off. You never get an answer why it happened.
Only way it could be more humiliating if they honk your nose twice. Like, honky, honky, and then spike you, honk your nose, and jump back in the car.
Slap an egg on your head, slap you in the face, keep your chin up.
Right.
It gets better.
Whatever he's holding in his hand, knock it out of his hand. A little briefcase.
Just a whole series of like an egg spike on the head. Like, don't let life get you down. And then slap his like shit out of his hand.
Things are looking up from here.
And then slap him in the face. Keep your chin up. Right. Like this whole like, what the fuck is happening?
Can't get worse than this. It's like Three Stooges. Just like doing all the moves. Stomping on his toe.
My mind kept taking it further. Like when you said like, can't get worse than this. And then like a second friend throws just a literal pile of shit into his face. Sure, yes I can.
Yes I can. But I promise, this is the bottom. And then 2 honks on the car horn to mimic the nose, and then they fucking get out of there.
This is definitely rock bottom. Then another person just punches him in the face. JK, got you again. Have a great day.
The last bit is like, you know how people, big old trucks will do the gas it up and spray the smoke all over them?
Oh, yeah.
That's the last thing. See you later. Just
a cloud of smoke.
Just cover them all in just burnt smoke. That's pretty good.
Oh, craziness.
This did remind me of just that awkward feeling of when you do something like that and then you eventually have to face that same person again later.
Oh, yeah.
And guess how awkward that is?
Yes.
It reminded me of back playing baseball, and it was the end of the season, and we were off to state, and it was my senior year, and we were doing great. We're projected to win it.
Right.
And then we have practice to go to, and something happened at school. It was just some bullshit. Like we got sent early because like the heating or the cooling system went out.
Okay.
It's just like it's like, yay, like a gift for students. Like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And then to avoid all responsibility, you just take off before all the coaches can tell you that you still have practice. Like I knew we were still going to have practice.
Right.
I was like, nah, if I leave fast enough, no one can tell me.
Right.
So he knew that I left because my friends knew that I left, and then they told our coach that I was skateboarding.
Oh, okay.
Which I was.
Okay.
So I was skateboarding instead of at baseball practice, and I very rarely got super, super hurt.
Yeah.
This time I did. Just exploded my ankle.
Oh.
Like the week before state.
So you broke it?
No, I didn't break my ankle. Just like a ligament, like it didn't tear. It just stretched the ligaments in my ankle. Like it was totally swollen. The doctor said that I would have been better off if I just broke my ankle.
Wow.
At that point, because they just shredded it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm on crutches, and so basically I DH'd in the state tournament. That's all I could do. I would just hit the ball. And if like the ball went to the morning track, they could almost throw me out at first base.
just limp to first?
I just stand there and I could swing.
Yeah.
But I that was it. I'd just like hopefully hit the ball and then just like make it to first. And then they'd take me back out. He was so pissed. But I remember that because he knew.
Yep.
And the next time I saw him, the next day at school, he just looked at me and he goes, "You fucking kidding me?" He was so mad and I felt like such an idiot.
You let
just
me down.
So awkward.
You lied to me and you let me down.
Yeah, I fucking felt bad. Let everybody down, really. But yeah, that was that. It's just super awkward and super shameful. I'm like, fuck. It's the worst thing that could have happened.
I know I've had so many moments where I've done something like really, stupid, lied or whatever like that, and then like, and then like got caught.
Yeah.
The only example I can think of just quickly of something kind of like that is I knew I was going to see these people the next day. But it was just, I was so drunk, I didn't really, I guess, think about like how weird it was that I would like how I was being.
How far you had taken it.
Right, how far I had taken it. It was just like I went to the study abroad program, like what does it matter, I guess, junior college semester in London. Sure. And almost every weekend we would all go somewhere like an extended field trip. And so you're on the bus with everybody during the day, you're staying in the same hotel, you're with the same group. And one night in the hotel, usually being that age, we would just get drunk, some pub or whatever like that, and then call it a night.
Yeah.
Well, this night we ended up in my room with me and this one other guy. We were staying in this room, and then all the other kids. There was like, I don't know, there wasn't a big group, but like 10 of us are in there, and we're all pretty hammered. And then I've always been a weirdo. But like usually I keep it in my head now. But when I was younger, I was just like, oh, that'd be a crazy thing to do. And then I would actually, do it. And I thought it'd be weird to take on this like Hugh Hefner persona and just be like the dude. Like everyone else was fully clothed. And I'm just like going to get almost naked. I'm just going to be in my boxers and just be just super skeevy. But like satirically.
Yeah.
And then, people get weirded out because it was fucking creepy. Yeah. And I have this bottle of wine that I'm drinking. I'm already hammered. I'm just like in my underwear, just hanging around everybody else fully clothed. Like it was not tonally right for the situation at all.
It's like you showed up at a parent-teacher conference with that character.
Right.
Hey, how my kids doing?
Everybody leaves, as they should have. And then there was one girl hooking up with my roommate, and then this other girl who we actively didn't get along the entire trip.
I wonder why.
And so and so just being ridiculous, I just said something that I assumed would have her say like "fuck you" and just like you weirdo, and then just leave.
Yeah.
And I was just like in my creepy, I was like, "Why don't you just get in bed? We can just just see whatever happens." Something along those lines.
Sure. And
then she was like, "Okay." And then I was just like, and I really actively didn't like this person, but I was just like, gay. And then I just stayed in character, and then we hooked up as I'm in character. But then the next day I have to fucking get on a bus with her and everybody else who was like, "What were you doing last night?" And it was like I forgot that there was repercussions. I'm like, these are people I have to fucking be around the next 2 months.
You're not vanishing and disappearing and just like gonna magically be back home again, away from everybody.
And then it was young and dumb.
I'm sure there's a lot of funny examples of that out there, of doing something stupid and having to face it like relatively soon, afterwards. So I am curious to hear more from our dummies about that. Yeah, so please send that in.
I'm sure a lot of
them at iswedumb.com.
I'm sure a lot of them will be drunk because that is such a, especially like drunk and younger.
Totally.
When like you wake up the next morning, like, what did I do?
Whoopsies.
What have I got you? Or look over like, whoa, how am I talking my way out of this?
Yeah. And I can't wait to fucking read them. That's for sure. Let's move on to our next story.
Okay.
This was sent in by Dummy Eric. And Jesus, this made me laugh.
Okay.
Greetings to all to the Dukes of Dummies, Joe and Dan. Greetings.
Hey, greetings.
I won't take up too much of your time, but after listening to your self-deprecation week in and week out, I feel that I could share a lot of my own idiotic antics. So let me start off by saying that my motor skills are normal, but when at the grocery store, I find it near impossible to open their plastic bags if not already partially separated. I get it.
Okay, yep.
So to the point that I get anxiety if the bagger goes away, and I'm forced to do it myself, especially with the added pressure of a line of shoppers watching me struggle.
I love this.
What a funny, I love that little
just
fear.
Beads of sweat, just staring at these grocery bags. I don't know how I'm going to do it.
I can never figure this out.
I can't separate. I can't. I'm just going to have to leave.
Just throw your groceries down.
You just panic and just run. Like they finish, they're like, oh yeah, credit card, cash, and then you just like, yeah, and you just run. And you just never go back to that store.
No bags. No bags.
I can't. I'm sorry, I can't.
Spike a gallon of milk and get out of there. So a few years ago, I was driving home on a cold, rainy night, and my windshield wipers weren't working as well as they should. God, I'm already laughing. So I stopped at the auto parts store and was faced with the dilemma. Should I man up and attempt to swap the wipers out in the rain or ask for help? Admitting I can't do this supposedly simple task just like the bags. Once inside, I saw a young lady behind the counter, which made me feel even worse for not wanting to swap out the wipers and admit I couldn't do it without help. My only solution was to fake that my hands were gimpy.
That's hilarious.
Going as far as to struggle with taking out my wallet.
Committing to it like, I'm sorry, my hands don't work. But I understand. I understand the motivation here.
Struggling to get out his wallet or use the touchpad. She felt bad and offered to change my wipers, getting drenched in the process.
That is really funny.
Oh, shit.
That's such a visual.
I can't.
I'm sorry. With my hands. And then you have to wait till she leaves and then still play it up like my hands. And then hope you never fucking see her again.
Right, then back into shit. Like, I don't know how you get out of there.
What if you see her like 2 days later and you're like opening up a fucking bottle of water? She's like, oh, nice.
Working your drinking fountain flawlessly. Like, just weird shit that you should never have to worry about. I don't know what is worse here between having this young lady take one for the team or me not wanting to ask. In revealing my physical handicap. Am I a piece of shit for this one? Dummy Eric. Holy shit.
You know what? When you lay out, I don't think he's a piece of shit. When you lay out the whole story,
he's just so scared.
He's got a lot of anxiety about not looking like an idiot in front of people. Yeah. I see the dude mentality where I'm guessing this girl is probably cute or something too. And you're like, you just feel like, oh no, it's like an extra layer of embarrassment, just male ego. I get the motivation. I think that was a pretty... And who was really hurt in that situation?
No one.
I mean...
She got drenched in the rain.
She got drenched. Now, what could have...
What's this picture
It could have really backfired if she was physically handicapped and she like all of a sudden her hands are, and she's like, no, I know what you've been through.
I know.
And then she's like, yeah. Oh, hey, my friends called me outside.
Right.
And then you just have to like, kind of like the grocery store, you just have to like run and never go back.
Right. You just have to vanish. Just kidding. Like do one like perfect cartwheel out the door. And they're like, I'm fine. Bye. So, but just, taking it that far is so.
That was a great story.
God, it killed me.
That's a really funny story.
I don't really have anything else to say about it.
I have nothing. I just love hearing
I just love that story.
Thank you.
Here's the dumbest thing we found this week with Apocalypse Pending.
It's the apocalypse.
Fuck. All right. So this one was sent in by a ton of dummies.
Oh, okay.
There was a bunch of people that sent this one in, and for good reason. So a car thief threatened to call the police on a mom who left her child in the back seat of the car he stole.
Wait, okay. A car thief threatened to call the police on the mom. And, oh my God, it took me a second to process all that.
Yeah.
He steals the car from some mom, then he calls the police because her kid's in the, what?
I know, it's a pretty good story. And of course it happened in a store called Meat Market. Come on,
Oregon.
Guys. So Oregon police are searching for a man who stole a car Saturday morning without knowing a child was in the back seat, and he came back to lecture the victim of the car theft for leaving her child unattended. When the suspect saw the child, he returned it to the mother and reprimanded her, threatening to call the police on her, and then drove away in her car. Beaverton Police spokesman officer Matt Henderson told CNN. So he hopped in the car, drove it, realized there was a 4-year-old inside, and drove it back and ordered her to take the child out of the car and then drove away again, Henderson said. We're thankful he had the decency to bring the little one back.
I mean, you know.
Exactly.
As far as crime goes.
So little boy was
there.
unharmed, police said. The crime took place in the meat market in Beaverton. Come on. He said, come on. Don't set up that joke. Where Crystal
the
Leary...
meat market in Beaverton, yeah.
It sounds like some kind of like code word for having sex.
Right.
Like, hey, babe, you want to go visit the meat market in Beaverton?
That absolutely does.
I love it. Okay. I'll add to the list. I'll bring it home. I'll report back and see if it actually got me lit. So Crystal Leary left the engine of her car running and doors unlocked before going inside a few minutes to purchase meat, of course, and a gallon of milk. Of course she's getting... What else are you going to get at the fucking meat market? She was just 15 feet away from the car on the other side of the glass, Henderson said, but turned around in the wrong moment. He goes on to say, I mean, she admits she's like, I'm sorry, I know you're not supposed to do this, got caught up in the moment. Like, I just knew it was going to be a quick stop, but she learned her lesson. She feels dumb for doing it. They found the car 8 miles away. Suspect described as a white male with long, dark brown braided hair. He wore a multicolored face mask. So he's also being
That's
safe.
pretty funny that he has a face mask, too. I mean,
it could have been a face mask for identity and not for COVID, I'm guessing. But anyone with information should call Beaverton Police. I'm not going to give you the number. You can look it up.
That is just I imagine this guy like driving her son back and like lecturing him about like, your mom should never do this. Like, I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean,
waving a gun around like Pulp Fiction kind of thing.
Right, waving a gun around. I mean, you never know who's going to take your stuff. I mean, there's a lot of bad people out there, right? I mean, you talk to your mom. I might call the police myself. I'm going to take your car right now, but that is... My brain is just like froze on that story. I know.
It'd be like if you were a drug dealer and you were telling your kid, you're like, come on, you do not want to sell drugs. And like while you're telling them that, you're handing somebody like a kilo of Coke. Right. Like, this is really bad. You should never, ever do this. Or it's like maybe your kid got in a fight at school and punched somebody in the face. And you tell them that's not right, while you're kicking the shit out of the neighbor.
Right.
It's just weird.
Just so hypocritical.
It's so hypocritical. The do as I say, not as I do.
I know.
Fucking cop out.
I've seen that a little bit with Kyler Monroe lately. I feel bad. Like I don't realize I just get intense and I'm can be a bit of a yeller. And not like out of a Lifetime movie, but just like heated, like intense. And then now I notice that Kyler does that to Monroe, and then I caught myself yelling at him in the same way he's yelling at her to not yell at his sister. Like even though I've modeled that exact behavior for him. Yeah. Like, hey man, we're just playing a friendly game. You don't have to yell at your sister all the time. As he's like, Monroe, come on, and I'm like, but it's not a big deal. Right. Why are you yelling at her? Right. Yeah. Right. And then it finally sunk in. It's like, oh, that's why.
I get it.
Because you're doing the exact thing constantly that you're telling him not to do.
But to your defense, and I'm not sure if they're like my kids.
Yeah.
My kids will never listen if you whisper at them.
You know what? And that's the thing.
Like if my kids did listen, if I just said, hey,
then you wouldn't have to yell.
Hey, please don't. If my kids responded to that, I wouldn't yell at them.
Right.
But guess what? They don't.
Right.
Like they're not going to do anything until you show that you're actually like a little mad.
True.
You're like, oh, okay, never mind. I'll stop.
You do make me feel better with that.
Making daddy angry.
Because there is truth with that. If you're just like, hey, come on, stop.
And some kids do respond to that. It's like, come on, like not anymore. You have to stop that.
Right. And they're like, okay.
Like, fine. Like, good luck. You fucking won the lottery if that's your kid.
Right.
My kid will be like, I don't care. Like, just keep doing it.
Yeah.
You have to actually do something or else they're not going to ever stop.
My kids are similar to my two dogs that way. My two doodles.
What big dumb idiots?
Because they just like the dogs. Like I've been yelling at them lately, and I feel bad because they get so sad. But they jump every single fucking time you come in the house. Like they want to jump on you. It's like a parade, which is kind of sweet. It's like this attitude of like, Dad's home, so excited. But then also it's like, all right, for 2 minutes you're jumping on me. You know we don't want to jump on other people. But I've tried that. I'll be like, Penny, down. Hey Gigi, get down. Hey Gigi, get down. They do not give a shit.
They never will.
But then you're like, get down. Then they're like down immediately.
Yeah, like, okay, I'm done.
Right.
I was happy you're home now. I kind of wish you weren't.
Exactly.
Never mind.
But and I know they feel that way, but then I'm like, if you would have just fucking listened to me, we could have avoided that yell.
I love everything else you do. Just stop doing
I
that.
asked you nice so many times. You don't care.
It's your fault.
right. You made me do this. You make me this angry.
All right, now I'm excited to get to the thing that you wanted to get to.
Oh,
or you
I'm
told
excited.
me that I should be excited about before we got to it.
Yep.
We were getting to it earlier, and now we've gotten to it.
I'm pumped.
Okay, you get it.
I get it.
Okay, 1 Star Heroes.
I get no respect in real life, always am upset, so I let them know I hate them on the internet,
Yeah. We're going to a special place today.
Where are we going?
Going to Santa Monica.
Okay.
And I used to live not too far from this place. It's True Food Kitchen.
Okay.
And this location is down in this little Santa Monica. Oh, what's it called? It's like the mall down off the promenade.
All right.
Third there. And this is a special place because this is where Lindsay and I, my wife and I, went on our first date.
Aww.
Yeah, so we have special association with this place, and then we went there a fair amount of times after that over the next several years when we were still living down there.
Okay.
And it's a good place. It's like healthy food. They got some juices and stuff, and it's just you can get a little bit of whatever, everything. They'll have some vegan options, vegetarian, but then also fish, steak, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not like crazy high end, but it's a little nicer. It's like casual nicer.
Okay.
It can be that area can be a little trendy, and 4 out of 5 stars overall. 2,347 reviews, and it lists itself on Yelp as American New Vegetarian Vegan. But they do have stuff that's not, or at least they did.
Okay.
And Santa Monica, even when we were living there, it was very like most of it very kind of like hoity-toity, very bougie. There's this Montana Avenue street on there that is just like some of the most expensive real estate around there and like on the West Coast.
Okay.
And a lot of people with a lot of money. And then that area has become like they were calling it Silicon Bay before we left. Like a lot of Silicon Valley, companies were moving out of Central California and going down to the Santa Monica area.
Right.
And that was bringing in even more money. I mean, this is like, a place where a shed is $1.2 million. And then there's like condos that are like $6-7 million. So there's a lot of money, and you get a certain kind of person sometimes, not all rich people, but some people, they just get very entitled and they're used to throwing their money around and getting their way, and they can just get very shitty about people just with like working class jobs doing their best. It's like never good enough.
Lost sight of what actual normal reality looks like.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, they've always been up here.
Yep.
Which is not where it's at.
And then LA has that statusy thing too. And these reviews are so LA in the worst of ways.
All right.
Like the bad part of LA. And you'll just see as we go through here. So this first one, Patrick G, 1 star, back in March. You would think that in this day and age, and again, whenever someone fucking says in this day and age, I'm immediately like, go fuck yourself. Like, I already can't stand you.
Get bent, Patrick.
You would think that in this day and age, at an establishment that claims, quote, healthy is science, they would list all ingredients on the menu. And when they don't, and someone brings this to the attention of the waitstaff and then a manager, that there would be an explanation better than, that's just a garnish. And I had to confirm this because I'm an idiot before this episode. But the garnish is just like, it's like the little flower or little greenery they put to make your plate look nice, but you're not even supposed to eat it. So who gives a fuck where it came from or what it is? And then he says, we were in a hurry, so we had no time for anything to be remade. So we ate around it, as you're supposed to do with the garnish.
Right.
The indifferent attitude of the manager put it over the top for us. Word of warning. Don't trust their menu to tell you the full story of what's in their dishes, and don't expect the correct response if you point it out. We won't be back, so we'll have nothing further to worry about. And now this is the least entitled of the reviews. We're building up as we go through these. So that's where we're starting.
Okay, pretty high.
Pretty high.
Just like their expectations.
Right, exactly.
We're starting up there.
Then we go to AA, Los Angeles. They're from 1 star. Went there with a couple of friends this week. I don't recommend you going there if you are a true vegan. 2 of us ordered vegan sandwiches. It had V letter next to it on the menu. When we got our plates, the salads had cheese on it. We let the server know. He said, "Oh my God, it should be vegan." He took our plates and a different person brought the plates back with a kale salad that had no cheese on top of it. Then our server asked, "Is it a little better?" That was weird. What do you mean, a little better? I came to your place, order a vegan dish, and I should get what I paid my money for. Not a little better.
Jesus.
It should be exactly what I ordered. After we were done eating, I saw cheese on the bottom of the plate. I'm not sure if the dressing in the salad was vegan after all that. And I avoid dairy at all costs. First time experiencing something like this at the restaurant. Oh well, they don't really care, I guess.
Wow.
They fucking solved the problem. That is unreal.
I like how she put in the note that a different person brought it back. Like that had any fucking, like what? Like not, it's like you have like a trust issue?
Right.
Like,
Like,
whoa. Who's that?
Who's this new
Who's
person?
this character? I did not agree to this. Is he staying?
like,
Is this character going to be in the story for a while? Or fuck? Oh,
it's too much for me. It's overwhelming.
Jeez.
I just picture like this person's expectation. They wanted the cook who fucked up to come out, get down on their hands and knees. I'm so sorry. Like weep. I don't know what I was thinking. I made a mistake. I know you ordered the vegan salad because there's a beef next to it. I know how much it matters to you. And I was in a hurry. And my mom died yesterday, and I'm emotionally a little bit of a wreck. But that's not your problem. I'm not trying to put it on you. And I don't want the cheese on there. You don't want it. It's like Jesus.
It just admits that when he gets sad, he just puts cheese on stuff. Right.
When I was a little kid, I was sad my mom would give me cheese. I was sad today. I'm trying to put that cheese on your heart. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. I just can't believe that you'd 1 star, like, when they clearly went out of their way to fucking solve your problem.
I do love it because I do feel like he's like, is that a little better? It was like a little, like there's got to be a little flavor in there. He's like, fuck you. He didn't mean it that way.
Right. But maybe.
Is that a little better for you?
Is that a little better for you? Ooh, you little baby. And I do get the feeling this person's a huge fucking whiny baby.
Yep.
So that was probably a reaction to their attitude if that happened. Is that a little better for you? You
throw it on the table.
Baby. Oh, cheese. Cheese. So this next one, Eliza C. 1 star. Food. I forgot about this one. Food was pretty good, but the cook burns the onions to turn black. Burned food is associated with carcinogens. It sounds hypocrite. These chain restaurants are trying to implement healthy food, but they are feeding with carcinogens. I spoke with the manager. She apologizes, but the check was for the whole amount. Yeah, because you're a lunatic. This person's crazy.
The fringes of the check are burnt like a pirate map. They just torch the sides a little bit. Sorry about
there
that.
You go.
Sorry about that.
I just like
spike an egg on their head. Everybody, come here, babe.
Oh, that is hilarious. I just love that this person like their expectations. Like the manager's gonna be like, I apologize for the carcinogens. We wanted you to enjoy a tasty meal, not get cancer.
Not here, not now.
And then like on their bill, it's like supposed to be like $23 minus $8 for the cancer. Like
50% off for cancer. He's just like, wait, what?
Oh God. Okay, this one I included. This next one. It's not like as petty, but it just has the funniest phrase that I've just never heard anyone say this. It just stuck out to me.
Okay.
Jonathan W., 1 star. Food sucks. Drinks suck. Servers and bartenders are like Teletubbies who are cartwheeled out of a bathhouse. I should just go to WeHo if I want a dry sea bass that tastes like chicken from El Pollo Loco. Worst food in Santa Monica. Teletubbies who cartwheeled out of a bath. What the fuck does that even mean? Like, what visual is that? I don't even know what he's talking about. That's such a specific. Like, I picture those brightly colored, weird baby talking things. Yeah. Cartwheeling. Okay,
it's like a Willy Wonka scene.
Right. It feels homophobic the way I think there's something there with the way he's referencing bathhouse, but I'm not sure. But it's just like a weird.
That's what I'm getting to.
Right.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm picking up that like so he's a shitty fucking person that way, but also like Teletubbies cartwheel. Like what the fuck are you talking about?
I like it more when it wasn't supposed to be mean. It was just like it was their thing. It was Halloween. Like that was just what they were doing. And Jonathan's like, what the fuck is this?
That would be hilarious if there literally were like most of the employees who dressed up like Teletubbies that day doing cartwheels.
Doing cartwheels out.
And they called it
only towels.
And only towels.
It's like that's it.
Okay, all right.
You got it.
So accurate.
So we did our job, yeah.
Okay, so back to shitty. Oh my god, this one's so fucking entitled. Nuo Yi L, 1 star, came here on a Tuesday night with dinner with two friends. One of my friends is allergic to dairy, and she ordered the edamame dumpling since the menu did not mention it contained any dairy. Oh, this is the one I was thinking of, but this is equally shitty. Turns out there was butter in there, but they didn't mention it. Luckily, my friend was able to taste it in the first bite and immediately stopped eating. After we spoke to our server, Talitha, she checked up on us a couple times. And when we got our check, kept saying how for future reference, just let us know if you have any allergies. It was completely rude of her to assume that it was only our fault. We did not expect to get a lecture in our night out. Additionally, they charged us for the dish, especially at a health food place. Servers normally clarify, hey, just FYI, there are such and such ingredients in this. They didn't list all the ingredients, said it was truffle oil instead of butter. There's nothing we could have done to avoid the problem, but she made us feel like it was our fault. We didn't know. We would say this restaurant is at dismal standards in terms of customer service and food. We are definitely never coming back ever again and tell people to avoid this establishment for its sloppy execution.
Man.
What a fucking piece of shit to have to ever spend time around.
If you have any sort of, and I luckily don't have any life-threatening or even just mild allergy things.
But if you do, you have to go out of your way.
I would be like, hey, does this have butter in it?
Yeah.
If butter was like something that was going to fuck me up.
And I bet this person's like I am. I bet they're just lactose intolerant. And I bet like, oh no, you might get some bloating, poor baby.
The toots.
You might get some toots. Or you can get some
tooties.
Toots, Nuo, Lee. Can get some toots. Gonna have to go poot. But I'm like, if you're like deathly allergic, then what the fuck are you doing? Like, and butter's such a common thing to have like edamame, whatever, like to be, warmed up
good.
in. Yeah, just to make things good. Like it's in so many good things. Yeah, then you're like, hey, sorry, I gotta make sure there's no butter, right? Like it's not like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even if.
Right.
Like. Just why are you getting that mad?
Right, because again, they tried to address it.
If they listed everything and then you didn't ask them, they fucked it up, and then they corrected it and got you. Then and they said sorry, but you just let us know if there's anything you're allergic to.
What do you want?
Don't get that fucking mad.
Exactly, that's what kills me. A lot of
just don't get that mad.
You can tell they're used to dealing with shitty people here. And by the way, every one of these reviews, the negative ones, has somebody from the management responding to them, asking, sent you a DM, trying to make this right. Like they're used to dealing with this type of attitude.
Yeah,
and they still get the 1 stars. Okay, couple more. Masha K. Been here many times and will not be back after my latest experience. I've always enjoyed my meals here and happen to think that this place can satisfy foodies, health nuts, and your average Joes.
That's me.
That's you. Last time we walked here all the way from Montana, that avenue I told you about with all the crazy money, and arrived right before closing time, which, by the way, according to Yelp, was an hour later. Not the restaurant's fault. We walked in and stood there for about 5 minutes trying to make eye contact with the staff. Finally, after totally ignoring us, someone let us know that they are now closed. I tried to tell them that we've been here for a while now. 5 minutes. Fucking calm down, Masha. But they proceeded not to make eye contact and just walked away. My guests were visiting from Miami, and this was their worst experience in LA. Fail, True Food. Fail. That pisses me off because if it's closing time, you fucking move on.
Yeah.
Right? Of course they're avoiding eye contact with you. They're closed.
They want to go home.
They have lives.
Yeah.
They have babysitters, kids, all that shit. But I brought my friends from Miami. And I've been here, and I walked from Montana Avenue. Well, then walk your fucking petulant ass back.
Right, go back to Montana.
Go back. You fucking brat. Okay. 2 more. This one is just so LA for the references. This is so great.
Even more.
Even more.
Okay. I didn't know that was possible. Here we go.
David M. 3 stars for the food, -1 for the service, and another -1 for the awful, awful crowd. Okay, you live or you want to live in Santa Monica. You're wearing your Lululemon yoga pants, even though you probably haven't done yoga but want everyone to think you do. You're an aspiring actress and you just got a lead on an agent that's taking on new clients and just have to share with the world. Or maybe you just finished a draft of your screenplay and need to brag about it to people who couldn't care less but don't want to do it at Starbucks. Where do you go? Why, True Food Kitchen, of course. This place is made for people like you health conscious with money to burn either from a rich spouse or parent, the opulent wannabes of the up-and-coming starlets and with perfect hair and skin, which goes to show how money can fix almost anything. Where would the world be without you? And where else would you fit in so well? Our first warning should have been, Jesus Christ, it's a fucking diatribe. Our first warning should have been when we went inside and tried to put a name in for our small group, and one of you self-entitled Santa Monica MILFs cut in front of us and put their name in first. Okay, fine. I'll let that one slide. But then after our name was called, another group walked in who was friends with the server. They hugged, and she showed her friends to our table while we stood there like chumps. Even the hostess was shaking her head and apologized to us. The girl even sat down with her friends and chatted for a few minutes before coming back. No apology or anything. To get our group name from the hostess again and finally seat us. We should have walked out. We should have complained to the manager. But damn it, we just waited half an hour, and we were here and we were hungry. So we bit the bullet and stayed at the insistence of our friend who reassured us the food was worth it. The food wasn't worth it. Sure, there were some inventive ideas on the menu. This is like a fucking screenplay.
But that's what I was going to say. It's like, I think he wrote this ahead of time.
Right.
And he just like swapped out like the names. So.
This is his best movie. But not at those prices. $16 for Penang tofu. $6 for an antioxidant drink that's gone in 3 gulps. I ended up getting the tuna sliders, and they were decent, though not anything I'd come back for. The group next to us had finished talking about their callbacks and left to be replaced by a set of grandparents with 2 toddlers who were running all over the place. I can only imagine what the parents must be like. Who on earth would take toddlers to a place like True Food Kitchen? Anyway, after being repeatedly kicked by the kid next to me, we paid our bill and got out of there.
I picture him just actually being
hey, fuck you. I can't really blame True Food Kitchen for the crowd they attract, except that their food certainly does encourage the type of people who come here. As for our friend who insisted this place was worth it, she said that she remembered how bad the experience was the last few times she'd come here, and she was writing this place off. I wholeheartedly concur. That is, you're never going to get a review like that in like Des Moines or Coeur d'Alene, where we are. That is like, holy shit, dude. You
so
bashing
wasted time.
Oh, bashing on all these LA stereotypes while making yourself an LA stereotype.
Yeah, fitting the mold exactly.
Oh, to a T.
These stupid entitled brats. I concur.
But not the most LA.
Oh God.
We have one more.
I'm gonna throw up.
One more. This one.
Right?
This is peak. This is peak of the worst parts. Scotty R. 1 star. This place is pure poison. I don't know what they put in their food, but that is not healthy fare. I have eaten meticulously organic vegan food for 14 years, and I have never had digestive issues ever. When I eat out, I usually choose Cafe Gratitude or Erewhon and always feel fine. Decided to try this spot within minutes of eating the $13 tiny bowl of yam noodles. I started getting stabbing pains in my belly and feeling nauseous.
Oh boy.
I then had an appetizer of Brussels sprouts and mushrooms, which was a pitiful serving for $10, and had absolutely zero flavor. They were badly cooked and bland. Had to ask for extra sauce, which took forever to arrive, and the Brussels sprouts were cold by the time the extra sauce came. The stabbing pains continued for several hours after I left this restaurant. My body is spoiled by clean organic food, and because I eat so clean, I'm like a canary in the coal mine for places that claim to be organic and have clean food, but aren't really.
Wow.
This place is not clean, healthy, delicious, or remotely worth their absurd prices. Not to mention there were 4 hostesses just standing around acting like superficial wannabe models who ignored my requests, were too busy gossiping amongst themselves, taking selfies, showing each other things on their phone, and comparing outfits to do their job. I stood there trying to get their attention for a minute before they finally acknowledged me and acted irritated that I had interrupted their selfie party. The server regularly disappeared for long stretches, and I had to ask random servers to help me because my server basically disappeared after taking my order. As if the stabbing stomach pains weren't bad enough. Everything about this place is bad.
I hate. What?
The fucking canary in the coal mine line killed me.
Dude, that's when I went from here to this.
Yeah.
Like I guess I gave up.
This person is miserable. This is not someone you can just have a single carefree fun day with and ever. They're going to complain about any single fucking place you go to, except for like apparently 2 restaurants. Yeah. And the rest of the world is just a pile of shit.
It's amazing how basically he could eat healthy and be great, like food and nutrition, like just great health.
Sure.
But the anxiety is going to kill him.
Right.
Like just like the stressfulness and like he gets so upset he's going to die.
He'll have an aneurysm at like 44.
Right.
But
he's eating great.
Hasn't had a drink of alcohol.
No.
25 years. Mm-hmm. Just everything clean, organic, does yoga 2 hours a day, gets massages, like everything you can get, all the opulence, but just inside, just like, I just can't. I'm a canary in a coal mine.
I'm a canary.
The world is a coal mine, and I'm the canary.
That was so bad.
Oh, boy.
Man.
So that was today's one. See, that was very.
That made me mad.
This all just reminded me, and again, there's plenty of awesome
great
people
stuff
in LA. Santa Monica is one of my favorite little communities, like in the U.S. that I've been to. Yeah. But there is this crowd for sure there that it always drove me insane when I lived there. And just reading these, it just took me back. I'm like, oh, I can picture all these people. I've fucking walked by you on the sidewalk. I've had you look at me for wearing a fucking graphic tee or something where I'm supposed to be wearing. Right.
They walk by, stinky Danny boy.
Beard. Gross. He's just wearing anything designer.
Oh, he has no cosmetic fixes.
What is Adidas shoes? Well, you can get those at like a fucking Target. I don't even know.
All right. Well, we do need some cheering up.
Okay.
And we're going to do that right now with the good part of the internet. Let's roll it.
Sliver of hope.
Sliver of hope this week sent in by dummy Jester Jack.
Jester Jack?
Jester Jack. What a fun little name.
That's a fun name.
I'm just going to set it up. There's a news article that talks about what this guy does on his YouTube channel.
Okay.
He's teaching dad life lessons, and it's gone massively viral. Their sponsors are both tragic and touching. So this guy, Rob Kenny, 55, started a YouTube channel called Dad, How Do I?
Yeah.
And it just features basic lessons that are stereotypically passed down from a father to a child, like how to shave your face, how to use a stud finder. The channel grew from 0 subscribers to 400,000 in just a matter of weeks. Then a series of tweets and TikToks about him and his channel went viral last week. Now he has more than 2 million subscribers.
Wow.
So Kennedy said he started the channel to teach life lessons he never learned from his own father, who he said walked out on his family when he was a child. He received an outpouring of responses supporting his wholesome mission. People have been sharing their own stories and having needed something like this while they were growing up without father figures themselves. So Kennedy's life has completely changed in a week. And while he's overwhelmed, he told BuzzFeed now he wants to try and help as many people as he can, which is great.
Awesome.
Like now he's got a PR team. He's got like a branded Father's Day deal with Lowe's and all that kind of stuff. He said that it all started when he basically his daughter needed some like adulting, some advice.
Yeah.
And then he joked about just making some videos, to send over.
Yeah.
And then she suggested that he post them, and so he did. So I'll just show you like a couple examples here.
Okay, I love this.
So here's just a video about how to tie a tie.
Pick out a tie that has some sort of color that picks up something in your shirt. It's just an added classy little touch, okay? So we go ahead and flip up the collar. Take the tie, put the fat side down.
Right.
This is
I could have used this a couple years ago.
Right.
At the
So
end, you want the tie to come out right about your waist.
So he just goes through. He does all of this. Then he also goes through and shows just different, all the different tools and what they do, like how to change a tire.
Oh yeah.
How to fix a flat.
Oh, he's got over 3 million subscribers now.
Yeah. So what a hammer does, what a screw does, how to drill a hole,
awesome.
how to do that, and he just goes through all these basic things. He'll also sit down and just like he also started doing like dad jokes.
Oh my god.
And his delivery is so bad it makes him even better.
Yeah.
Like he says them, he goes, nah. Like he does like some.
He has a signature thing.
Yeah, he says them, nah. Anyway. But
he seems like a nice dude.
Yeah, how to unclog a sink and just stuff like that is really great. So
that
what
is
an
awesome.
Amazing idea. And Jester Jack, thank you for sending that our way because that's awesome.
That is awesome.
It's the simple things. Makes you take for granted of having that around because a lot of people didn't.
Yeah, I would have never thought of to do something like that, to make a channel with those kind of things. Yep. But now seeing it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's so valuable.
Very smart.
And so cool. And there's just so many people. I mean, he's far from the only person who did not have a great father role model in their life.
Right.
And especially, or like a teaching dad who taught him all those things. I'm like, that is great.
And dads have different sets of skills.
Yes.
Like I learned how to build shit
from your
play
dad.
music like from my dad.
Yeah, yeah.
Like but there's a lot of stuff I didn't or could not learn from him that I'm sure diving around on the videos.
Yeah.
I could pick up some stuff that I guess never like learned.
Right.
Or I mean, especially if I was in the younger days, like before you got into like the true adulting and doing everything on your own. But looking those up, like I was in college, I was like, fuck, I don't know.
Right.
Like how to do this. I don't know how to fix this tire.
Right.
It's just stuff you've never had to do.
Oh yeah, I think my dad taught me how to fix it.
Like
change
you
the
know
tire.
how, but I just didn't stick.
Yeah.
So there's different departments that would be great, even if you did have a great father figure that maybe you just didn't learn.
Right.
So go check that out. Again, it's called Dad, How Do I? And we'll have the link in the episode description.
Like my dad taught me how to like throw knives and like shoot guns, but he didn't teach me like really anything else.
Right.
So it's like it would have been nice to round it out.
My dad taught me how to throw hammers at doors.
Valuable.
Very how to
in certain situations.
How to fall off the roof.
How to fall off the roof and not get too hurt.
Right. I have no idea how to do taxes.
right. We have the same dad.
Yeah. All right. To you from internet. Let's do that.
Okay.
The internet has all sorts of neat things. Anything you want can be yours. Let's take a peek, together, as a couple. To you, from internet.
You are going to love this. This was sent in by Dummy James, and it's a Chemtrails activation panel.
Oh my God.
So it's just a fake little thing that you can get. You can actually wire it up so it has like the light that flicks on and off.
Yeah.
But you can just buy this thing.
Oh, and you put it on a plane?
You can like go to the bathroom in a plane and then just like mount it on the wall
That is so great.
and flip the chemtrails on and off. You can also you can usually it's like an actual like panel switch too. So if you want to do something, you can, as you can see right here, you can wire it up and have it activate
so
like an on and off switch, which would just be funny to have in your house.
I want one in my car.
Like, I don't know. I haven't looked into I know.
Yes.
Yeah, like a starter. You just boop, flick it up. Like, that's how you turn your radio on. Is like turn on the
chemtrails
yeah.
activation switch.
And I'm guessing just based on the look of it, you could replace, if you really wanted to, like do a custom, like the light turns on and off with the chemtrail switch.
I wish it was like battery operated with the light, because I legitimately would like to get some of those.
Right.
And when I just throw them in my backpack when I'm flying, just put them in the bathroom. Like go to the bathroom early in the flight.
Right.
And then just pay attention to other people coming out of the bathroom. Like what if they seem like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny to me.
It's so funny.
That's a
I love
great
that.
product.
Yeah, very funny. And then this next one I had seen floating around for a little bit, but then it was sent in again by Dummy Bernie, and it just reminded me that it exists again.
Okay.
Did you know there's a thing called the baldo? So this is
no.
This is a dildo that you put your balls inside of.
Oh, what?
So then you can start
What?
using your balls as a sex toy. So you have to make sure that your balls are hairless and lubed up. Then you slide these in.
Oh, no thanks.
Slide it in your balls in. Then you use the little spacers, which will stretch your balls out. And the guy who invented it basically said that he found out after orgasm that if he like tugged on his balls, he could get an erection to come back. So now he just decided to turn his balls into a dick. And you can get this thing.
I have sensitive balls. No part of that sounds fun to me. It just sounds like it would hurt my balls.
It sounds like just a
it makes me
disaster.
nauseous.
Yeah.
If I tried to cram my balls in something, then I would just want to throw up. Not from like, oh, I'm disgusted by this action. I was like, but it'd be like getting kicked in the balls.
Right.
Like I don't like having my balls yanked around.
Anyway,
But I guess maybe some people do.
yeah, I think a lot of people do.
Okay, I'm
I
the minority.
I don't. Yeah, I don't like
have
have my
heard-
balls tugged around.
I have heard of people who like their balls, but I don't. I'm just, like some people like, oh, like my nipples, whatever. Stay away from my balls.
I just had the funniest visual.
I'm sensitive.
Is this too far? So I'm pictured like Lindsay playing with your balls, or like she's doing other stuff, and she goes to your balls, and she's like you slap her hand.
We've talked about this.
No.
We don't touch.
No touchy. Oh, sorry. And then just like goes back to other areas.
Yeah.
But every time, no matter when it is, just a quick little. No, not today. Leave daddy's balls alone. All right, let's hear some more from our listeners.
Okay.
A very listener heavy episode today.
I like it.
Okay, junk mail.
We have funny listeners.
Yeah.
It's junk mail.
I don't know. I have to do that every time. I'm sure it's annoying to everybody. Our first piece of junk mail coming in from Dummy J. They write, "Hey, Dumb and Dumber."
Okay.
on. Well,
Okay. Not bad.
Am I dumber? Are you dumb?
I'll be dumber.
Okay.
But I like the good reference.
Me too. I'm writing into you guys after hearing Joe talk about almost touching a running planer. Remember that story?
Oh.
Where it looked smooth and I was like, just touch it.
Yeah.
I have to say, having tried it myself, I would not recommend it.
Uh-oh.
So this was a few years ago when I was younger and a dumber teenager who thought he knew it all. I attempted to plane down a piece of wood that was much too small, not much bigger than the palm of my hand. and as I pushed it against the spinning blade, the blades grabbed it, threw it across the shop, and my hand fell into the spinning shaft. I planed off half my thumb from the nail to just past the first knuckle in a split second. I'm not kidding. Those things are... Don't worry, we have pictures.
What?
I'll show you in a
Really?
second. Yeah. My dad took me to the ER, and after 3 days in the hospital and a couple hour surgery where the doctors cleaned out the sawdust from my thumb and slapped a skin graft on there, my skin was missing.
Whoa.
It's almost as good as new. It's not. I'll show you a picture. My dad, in the meantime, went back to the shop and dug the pieces of bone out of the sawdust pile to give to me as a get well soon gift. Oh, thanks, Dad.
God.
Since half my knuckle is missing, I can now bend my thumb in all directions, which I have to say comes in pretty handy sometimes. Still can't believe I got away with this luck. I'm guessing would be so much worse. Anyways, thanks for taking the time to read through my bad grammar. I'm only recently found Bad Magic Podcast, and I love them. 3 out of 5 stars. Wouldn't change a thing. Keep it up, Dummy J.
Thank you, Jay.
You want to see a thumb that bends in weird places?
Yeah.
Okay, here you go. Look at that. Da-da-da. That's a magic. It's a magic trick. It's a built-in magic trick.
I will say his thumb looks like a thumb. Like I expected it to be way more messed up. I mean, you can see the scar.
Yeah, you see in the right picture.
Those doctors did a great job.
Like you see the half of the nail that's just gone. So that's just that part doesn't exist anymore.
Ouch! Ouch!
I mean, it
ouch.
exists. It just doesn't have anything there. That's fun. What a fun little trick.
Wow.
Anyway.
Oh man, what a terrible day.
I know.
But you know, he could have lost all. He could have lost his fucking hand. Could have died. Could have bled out.
Just totally gone.
Yep.
Those things are scary. Yeah, fucking planers.
Be careful around planers.
And I guess some people, and I guess this is the more correct term, but people call them planers, and jointers are kind of what they're called if they're longer and bigger. I guess planers are like more small things. Anyway.
I didn't know that term.
Neither did I. Now I do. So this next piece of junk mail is an update of sorts, sent in by Dummy Garrett. He writes, "Hey dummies, longtime sucker, but I just started listening to Is We Dumb a week ago and have already burned through the entire catalog. Thank you. An episode, Novocaine, Butthole Mold, Danny's Good Boy."
Okay.
You featured a story about a Florida man being mauled by a black leopard after he paid for a full contact experience. Remember that?
Yeah. I
So
do.
this immediately reminded me of a time when I went on vacation in Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah.
Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta.
Mexico with my girlfriend when I was in my early 20s. So we are looking for something to do that day and decided to go check out the local zoo. And as you might imagine, Mexican zoos don't tend to have the same regulations as the stateside counterparts.
Sweet.
Yep. So while we were walking around, one of the employees approached me and asked if I'd like to pet a big cat.
Oh, man.
Being a truly dumb young man, I said, sure. He instructed us to follow him, which we did, to a locked door on the side of what appeared to be some sort of administrative building. When he opened the door, I realized it was an enclosed staircase and spotted a water bowl at the bottom of the concrete stairs.
Oh, my God.
He went inside and returned shortly with a full-grown black leopard that he was holding onto by a thick leather dog collar. I was obviously a little bit freaked out at first, but then I thought he seemed tame enough, so I proceeded to play with him for a few minutes until the animal got a little too excited and decided to latch onto my leg with his paws and playfully bite my thigh. The employee grabbed him by the collar, bopped him lightly on the nose before pulling the big cat off me and returning him to his enclosure in the stairwell. Although the employee had only spoken Spanish up until that point, after locking the cat back up, he turned to me and in perfect English said, $5. Which I'm guessing could happen.
It could
have pet a cat and $5 to do it.
Jerry, $5.
Before he even knew existed. I have reflected back on that day many times over the years and thought about all the ways that it could have gone horribly wrong. I completely agree with Cummins in the statement that anyone who is killed doing something so stupid deserves no sympathy. Thanks, guys. Love the show. I can't wait for more episodes. You two make me laugh really hard during these difficult times.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Garrett.
You know what? And when I get in those situations too, by the way, when I pass judgment on like, oh, if you do something that's stupid, you know, like you deserve no sympathy. Mm-hmm. I've also had those thoughts about myself. I'm like, if I would have died doing what I just did, no, they should have mocked me.
No one better feel bad for me.
No one feel bad.
You just think about like, right before you do it, you're like, I wonder what Joe's going to say at my funeral. Right. All right. It's probably going to be really funny. Like as you're just like falling off a ladder.
Good content.
That's going to be great on the show.
I was thinking about when that thing was biting his thigh. It's like, what is it?
Yeah.
I don't know if you say femoral or femoral. I think it is femoral. Your femoral artery. It's like if that thing would have pierced that, I mean, that's another good way to bleed out. I think my mind was still on that from the saw. But I was just thinking like, man, that cat bites the wrong spots. You're done. Yeah. Like even if it's not like a true like aggressive attack.
Yeah, it just has to be
one
a
bite.
little poke.
Oh, they got some big old teeth.
And then you're done. All right, well, we have one last quick piece of junk mail, and this was sent in by dummy Jennifer, and she writes, "Hello, this is the first time I've emailed, but I have to turn myself in. I've listened to every episode, and this week's was hilarious.
Yes.
That said, I probably shouldn't watch it on YouTube while driving. This morning, I missed my exit on the turnpike because I was not paying attention to the road signs, but to the underwater scooter image, and watched my exit in slow motion as I drove by. This added another 20 minutes to my drive. Keep it up. We're all learning about how dumb we are." So thank you.
I wish, Jennifer, I could say that I'm like, I've never watched anything while I've been driving.
Ever.
I have. It's so bad.
We all have.
It's so bad.
Yes.
Lindsay's good about it. She gets so mad at me if I'm driving, and I actually finally have kind of stopped. I should totally stop. I haven't totally stopped.
You said that in my brain like a lie detector.
I know.
It's like...
I know. I started to say it, and I'm like, because I've gotten a little bit better, but then I remember it only when she's in the car. So I should do better all the time.
To take that off the court document.
Edit it.
Well, that's our show.
Yay, show!
Yay, show. Thanks to Zach Cohen for creating some of the custom music beds for the show. Thanks to Logan Keith for sucking all of our listeners' dicks.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, bye. Pumping out the best merch in the podcast game and managing our social media accounts. You can buy our merch at badmagicmerch.com or go directly to iswedumb.com. Thanks to Zach Flannery for producing and directing.
Cuddles,
And
cuddles,
erecting.
cuddles. Lots of erections.
And what was the last
Producing, directing, and erecting.
And erecting.
His jawline. I mean, again, that's all I think about.
Happy to help.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Is We Dumb, that private Facebook group. Go join in there. It is fucking so funny in there. Is We Dummies. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Bad Magic Productions. We have all shows that we do on there with Time Suck, Scared to Death, and of course Is We Dumb, all in one spot.
Yes.
All in video form. So you can see my hard nipples.
Yep.
And I usually pit out and just stuff like that.
That's okay.
I don't know. I just want people to see it. There's no problem with that, right?
There's no problem.
Want to send
It's
in
natural.
some segment content, dumb at iswedumb.com. Any general questions about deodorant, info at iswedumb.com. I think I'm going to get you to laugh today.
Okay, I'm like, am I just becoming a corny old dude? Because now I am starting to laugh at some of these dad jokes.
This
is ruining me.
I think you'll laugh at this one. All right, let's get to the neat dad joke.
Hey, you want to hear a joke?
Wow, neat dad joke.
Hi.
Hello.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. How do you spot a blind man on a nude beach?
I spot a blind man on a nude beach.
That's not hard.
Ah! Okay.
Got it?
I got it.
Boom! Because it's a dick joke!